Okay, so that's been done. Let me go back here. Okay, hopefully that did something. Maybe, I have no idea. So, okay, restarting. I guess there's really nothing left to do than to just go right into it. So, as the title has said, and as the thumbnail from like 2 streams ago, I guess, because technically that counts as like a separate stream or whatever, but as that reflects, we're gonna be reading some of my old stories that I wrote on Wattpad, so I'm just gonna pull that up real quick. There it is. Okay, so this, oh my goodness, it's been so long since I've like been on Wattpad, it's insane, but this is my Wattpad account from high school. So it says I joined April 4th, 2014, so that would be like the 2nd semester of my freshman year. So I was about 13 when I made this account. Yeah, it's pretty old. It's pretty old. So I have 5 published stories on this account, and I guess I'll just go through them all just to see, like, or I guess say, like, you know, what's what. So I don't know if these are in order. I guess they are in order of when I made them, but the first is the Underground, which let's just read the synopsis, I guess. Once government conformist, oh my goodness, listen, okay, I already said this is gonna be cringe, and I'm already cringing, so, alright. I think this is the only story on Wattpad that I actually, like, finished. I had a problem with just not finishing things, so I really don't know. So, once government conformist and conformist, is that even a word? I have no idea. Once government conformist and soldier Joanna Ayers is kidnapped and forced to work for for the libertarian resistance known as the Underground. She is faced with the hard choice of having to conform to them or to resist the resistance. And let me tell you, this story is just insane. It makes 0 sense. So, also, I just realized something. I did not share this without link. I'm just gonna do that real quick. Hold on. No, not that. I'll just go back here. Transition. And because I don't want y'all to see everything. Paste the new link. Do that. Because I'm fairly certain we're okay now. So yeah, hopefully that does something. Okay, back to this. So, this is the Underground. I guess this story holds a special place in my heart. Also, we have to remember, this is back in, like, what, 2014? So, like, Hunger Games and Divergent and all of that were, like, super popular at this point in time. So, you know, that was on everybody's mind. Every single writer with a book deal was trying to make one of them, you know? So, aside from that, hello, chat member, thank you for joining. Aside from the Underground, we have Where Are We Now? The Story of Bella Goth, which, listen, there's like 2 separate Sims 2 fanfictions on this. One of them is better than the other, and I'll tell you, Where Are We Now is not the good one. Very cinematic music. It's actually, it's not just Oblivion music. I was looking for Oblivion music, but it's not, there's only like an hour of Oblivion music. So it's Morrowind, Oblivion, and Skyrim music, and I think we're still on Morrowind music. I've never played Morrowind, by the way, but that's not really important right now. So, this next one is, it's only one part, and it's a one-off story. I literally haven't read this in years. I can't even remember what it's about, so I really don't know what's going on with that one. And then there's Cheshire, which is unfinished. It has 4 parts. I had so much planned for this, and I just never finished it. Admittedly, it's very terrible. It's not good. I don't like it. To be fair, most of these I don't like. I like the Underground because, I guess, nostalgia tings, and I like Gone Girl because I think it's actually pretty well written for what it was, which is a fan fiction. So, Cheshire, yeah, you know. Oh, and if you'll remember from my, what was it called? Watching my old Sims 2 Machinima video, this story is based off of that. Yes, I did write all of these. I had a lot of time on my hands as a 13 through 15-year-old, and, you know, back then I fancied myself a writer. So, you know, I mean, I guess I still fancy myself a writer. I literally don't have it. Well, okay, that's not true. I do have the time to write. I could make time to write, you know? I could set aside an hour every day to write, but I don't do that because I'm a bad writer, I guess. I don't know. I have no discipline, I guess I would say. And also, all of these are super old, and they kind of suck. So, that's Cheshire. Oh, can I turn the... Yes, I can turn the music down. I didn't know that was too loud. I think also my microphone is just not loud enough, so I'm just gonna physically bring that closer to me because, yeah. So I hope that's a little bit better. I don't know if you can hear it now, because I'm turning it down in Streamlabs, and also because it reached like a quiet point. So I'm just gonna put it here. I hope that's okay. Lower it down a little bit. A little bit more. There we go. That's a good volume. So this next one, which is, I've literally been trying to be disciplined to write a little bit each day. Yeah, same, I guess, but I don't actually put any effort into it. However, the only writing exercise that I ever put effort into was my 1,000-word short stories collection, which is like my most popular, I guess, series. They're all one-offs, so they're not like connected or anything, all of these 1,000-word short stories. But I guess what I did at that moment in time was I don't know. I know what I did. I used this website that was like randomly generated plots, and I wrote a 1,000-word story around that, which I think is actually a really good writing exercise. But just considering that I was such a not good writer at the time, being 15 years old, I guess some of them turned out okay. They turned out okay for Wattpad, and if you know anything about Wattpad, you know they have a very low bar of quality. I mean, even judging by the stuff that like gets made into actual books and like movies, like, bro, anybody could be a Wattpad writer, okay? Zero skill required. Alright, this isn't AO3, you know? Yeah, I do recommend that you try this, because it's actually, it's pretty good for a writing exercise, you know? I think the name of the website that I used was writingexercises.co.uk, and they have a few, like, randomly generated, I'm shaking the camera, they have a few, like, randomly generated, I guess, prompts. There's one to generate a, let's see, a plot, and there's one to, like, give you a random word and a random character description and all of that. I mean, I guess it was random, but I could tell it didn't have, like, a lot to pull from, because I would see the same stuff, like, over and over again. But anyways, I think it helped. And then there is the last thing that I made on this here Wattpad profile. I do have another one that's more recent that I also haven't touched in, like, a really long time. But, this was my main bag when I was doing the whole Wattpad thing. So the last one is yet another Sims fanfiction, Sims 2 fanfiction specifically, called Gone Girl, which, yes, I did jack the title from the movie. I saw no problem with it at the time. I thought it was perfectly acceptable thing to do, which, I don't know, maybe it was at the time. I mean, listen, again, Wattpad, standards on the floor. This one is, I guess, kind of a speculative fanfiction, because it takes place before the events of The Sims 2, which, yes, I feel like this is a surprise to most non-Sims playing people, but most of the games, I will say, 2 and 3 definitely go heavy with it. I don't know about 1, because I never played it, and 4, it just doesn't exist there. I'm sorry, it doesn't. I accidentally tweeted on my Twitter account, for my It's Just Aaron Twitter account, because I have like 2, that I wish The Sims 4 had, like, you know, an actual storyline, because it really doesn't. But anyways, gosh, I just went so off topic. Goodness, what was I saying? Anyways, this particular fiction takes place before the events of Sims 2, and it was supposed to lead up, like, the big climax was supposed to be Bella Goth's, like, disappearance, because, you know, I think it takes place kinda after she disappears, like, maybe it's been a couple years, I have no idea. Yes, there is a storyline with Sims games. It's, I don't know, maybe it's because I was super duper into The Sims 2 for like a really long time in my youth that I actually paid attention to it, but like I'm fairly certain Sims 4 does not have really any storyline, because with The Sims 2, like in the neighborhood view, you could see like which household had relationships with people in other households, and it was really cool. I love that part so much. Oh my goodness. And like, oh, when you started the game, in each neighborhood, like each pre-made household already had like relationships with the other pre-made household, and they already had memories and everything. Oh my goodness. I could go on about this for so long, but I'm gonna refrain from doing that for now because I have fiction to be reading. So, okay, I think for the sake of brevity, we're gonna start with this one-off fiction because I legit don't remember it, and I'm pretty sure it's not that long. It can't be longer than like 2,000 words. Like I didn't have the patience to make very long chapters when I was a youngin'. And also, this doesn't have any kind of description. So I hope you all can see that. Actually, let me see. Let me get a studio mode and just kind of center this and make it bigger. I can't really make it all that bigger. Come on. There we go. Alright, I guess we're just gonna have a little read along. I include a little author's note for some reason. Okay, so let's just begin. Okay, before I get started, I want to say that if you have not played the Sims series, The Sims 2 in particular, then 1, you won't know what's going on, and 2, you should really play them. They're great. Oh, when did I write this? Is there a date? I have no idea. I don't know. I forgot. Anyways. Anywho, onto the story. Also, this is a short story, so don't bother looking for parts. I can't. Okay. Yeah, this really isn't that long. Alright. Where are we now? The story of Bella Goth. Oh my god, okay. Alright. As I sat here, I observed what was once mine. My manor, my husband, my family, my life, all gone. My husband, poor naive Mortimer, oh god, will soon succumb to a gold digger. That's skank Dina Caliente. Actually, I never knew how to pronounce her name. I don't know if it's Dina or Dinah. I'm gonna say Dina because that's always how I pronounced it, but yeah. Dina Caliente. My daughter, Cassandra, will be heartbroken by the town floozy Don Lothario. Also, I don't want to like digress too much, but I never knew that his name, like Don's name, is like a play on words, because Lothario means like floozy, right? But you know, that's like his name, and I guess nobody picked up on it. I don't know. Anyways, we're gonna continue. And my son, Alexander, bless him, he will never know that he has a mother and that she loves him very much. Which, okay, that doesn't even make sense because I don't know what headcanon I was going off of, but in the game, like, Alexander's a child, so I guess it would have to be that. I'm not going to try to explain any of this because it already doesn't make any sense. Okay, back to the story. I'm not even sure how it came to this, My life was going fine, and then, who knows what happens. One minute I was here, the next I wasn't. It was all so sudden. I wish I didn't go on the rooftop with Don so long ago, but what's done is done. He'll never have a chance at getting me anyways. I've actually visited the Calientes recently. With my departure from this world, it seems that nobody notices if I come or go. I heard them talking about me. After 10 years, they were still talking about me. They said some strange things. I wonder how Bella is doing with our relatives. What's that supposed to mean? Relatives? Did the Caliente Mafia snipe me on Dawn's rooftop? Oh my god. Okay, anyways. Did they take my body and reanimate it? So many questions, and there are possibly only 3 people who can answer them. Dawn, Dina, and Nina. But all of that's a moot point now that I'm no longer around. I've read so many books on people who have disappeared rising from the dead and sending subliminal messages to their loved ones about their whereabouts. Now I know they're all fake because I can do no such thing. Maybe it's because I'm not actually missing. Maybe my body was found somewhere and my soul and conscience just missed out on the event. That's supposed to say event. It says even. Somehow I know this after all this time. I'm hoping that's what happened. I want my family to be at rest. I want Morty to stop worrying. I want Alex's nightmares to end. But, most of all, I don't want Cassandra to go on with marrying Dawn. She's too smart for him, and if she knew any better, she would know that Dawn flirts, seduces, and woo-hoos with any female with a pulse. Worst of all, he doesn't even love her. He loves himself more than anything else, or anyone else. Tomorrow is their wedding. I have to do something. I have to intervene. This cannot go on any longer. Wow, the drama. Alright, oh, we're almost done. The next day. Today's the day. Okay, I should be happy for my daughter, I really should, but I can't bring myself to do such a thing. We are gathered here today, the priest began. I can't believe this is happening. Oh, look at my baby. Cassandra's beaming. Dawn, however, I may just wait this one out. As they shared their vows, Cassie was on the verge of bursting into joyous tears, and Dawn only half-heartedly read his. This is getting good. Then, on to the sharing of rings. Dawn gets his, and then... Oh no, is he getting cold feet? I sure hope so. His face is getting redder by the minute. Cassandra, he says, I can't do this. He drops the ring and storms off. He left her at the altar. Where's he off to? Probably the Caliente's place for sure. No, that can't be right. They're both in attendance. I look at Cassandra. She was on her knees in her dress, sobbing her eyes out. I hate Dawn for doing this to her, but it was probably for the best. Serves both of them right. They don't deserve each other? Okay. Dina and Nina were grinning at each other in the back row. Now they have Dawn all to themselves. Whatever. Floozies deserve floozies. And that's the end of that story. So I believe they call them one-shots in the fanfiction community, but, so this story, I guess, takes place after she disappears and, like, I don't know, 10 years later. So, okay, I don't know if there is really any official lore on this. Like, so, okay, the official, well, what we think happened is that Bella got abducted by aliens, and so on top of Dawn's roof, right? Because he has a telescope there, and in the game, if you there's a chance for you to get abducted by aliens if you use a telescope at night, right? Okay, so she uses a telescope at night. She gets abducted by aliens, and also some lore. Dina and Nina Caliente, they're sisters, not twins. They're actually from Strangetown, right? That's where all the wacky stuff happens. And so they're half aliens, or they're like a quarter aliens. They got some alien in them, right? Because one of their family members got abducted by aliens and then like gave birth to a child, and then that kid had some kids as well. It's been a while. I can't remember. So I guess one of the going theories is that since both Nina and Dina Caliente, which is a little weird, they both have like a romantic relationship with Dawn, and so they got mad and they this is the more I'm saying this, the weirder it gets, but listen, this it goes somewhere. So they call on their like alien relatives to like abduct Bella but not bring her back because the aliens always bring them back, right? So, you know, that's like how it goes in the lore. So, that's the going theory. And then like some years pass and Mortimer he's like old and Cassandra she somehow gets in a relationship with Dawn for some reason, I really don't know. And oh, the game starts like right before their wedding, right? So like once you start on their household, you can call Dawn over and like start the wedding. And there's like I think it's I don't remember the chance, but I feel like it was like a 50% chance for Dawn to leave her at the altar. Like that's an actual thing that can talking so much. That's an actual thing that can happen in the game. Is that in The Sims 2 anyways? Maybe 3? I have no idea about 4. But if two Sims are getting married and they don't have like a good relationship, one of them can leave the other at the altar, which is really spicy, and I really hope that feature is in 4 because I've played it for a while, like a year just about, but I've never had a Sim leave another Sim at the altar, and I want it to happen so bad. Like, oh my goodness, Sims 2 had so much drama in it, and 4 just feels so boring to me now. Anyways, enough of that. I think it's time to move on to another one. So here's the thing. I really want to read The Underground, but there's 16 parts, and it takes like an hour. And I know this because I read it out loud. Oh my goodness, okay, this is such a story, but I read... Okay, I guess we should start in the beginning. So I wrote The Underground when I was in the 10th grade, and when I was in the 10th grade, I had this English teacher that sucked so hard. Oh my god, he was the worst. But I wasn't really concerned with that in the beginning because he never really did anything to me. So I guess I don't know. So what I would do with these stories is I wouldn't type them up first. I would like write them down on paper and then type them up. And so in my 10th grade English class, I like just finished writing down the last chapters of this story, and I got an amazing idea in my head. I thought, hey, what if I don't know why I thought this, because it doesn't really make really any sense to do, because like it doesn't like fit in with what we were doing in class, because at the time we were just doing like grammar stuff. We weren't even on like literature or anything like that. But I asked my English teacher if I could read my story to the class but not say that it was mine. For some reason, I guess I just wanted validation from my peers, which nothing has changed, but I asked him if I could do that, and he said yes. So I think it's like, what, October or something? Maybe September. It doesn't matter. But I start reading it to the class, and like everybody really likes it for some reason, even though it's like kind of bad. Like it's not good. It wasn't good. I thought it was good at the time, you know, because, like, I don't know, how old was I? 14? I thought it was good at the time. And, you know, for a 14-year-old, it probably was pretty good at the time. But now, ultra cringe. Anyways, so I read in front of the class, and it takes, like, 2 days to do it, because the class isn't that long. It's not even an hour long. It's pretty short. Ugh, excuse me. So I read it one day, and then, like, a month later, I finish it, which... Okay, I don't know why it was a month later, but I finish it, and then, you know, we get to the big climactic end, which is like an open-ended ending. We don't really know what happens at the end. Yeah, so we get to the end, and, like, everybody really liked it, and, you know, and then I told them that I wrote it, and they're like, wow, oh my goodness, Aaron, you did that? That was so cool. Which, okay. Those people at that time in my life had no reason to lie to me. If they didn't like it, they would have let me know. Like, for sure. They would have let me know that it was garbage. But they actually liked it. And so that was so weird. Anyways. So, yeah. That's really all, well, okay, that's not the end of the story. I'll finish the story, because it's pretty good. Well, it's not good for me, because it made me feel terrible at the moment. But So, like, not long after I finished this story, like, reading it in class, we get this paper due, or, yeah, we have to write a paper. And the topic of the paper, I still remember it after all these years because I'm petty, but the topic of the paper was, oh, wait, I forgot. Hold on. It was our, I don't know, it's something about if the issues of black people were still, like, relevant today, like, I guess civil rights and stuff, because the school that I went to was basically entirely black, majority black, I guess. It's like a few non-black students, but that was the topic of our paper. And so I said that at the time, that issues for black people took a backseat to issues for other marginalized groups, specifically the LGBT community. Because if you'll remember, it's 2014. This is like right before the Supreme Court decision to like legalize same-sex marriage. So, you know, that was really on everybody's mind. And what I said in my paper was that, you know, we as a marginalized group, meaning black people, should help out, you know, other marginalized groups like LGBT people to like help them reach their goals. You know, since we have gotten so far, we could help other people get so far. And he didn't like that for some reason. Like, okay, the paper was kind of bad because I wrote it in like one night, but listen, I was in the 10th grade. What else was I gonna do? I was too busy playing The Sims to write to write a paper. So I don't know really what happened with that. My going theory is that there's like this really stupid rumor going around our school that, you know, this particular English teacher was like gay or something, and there's no real evidence to back it up, including the fact that, you know, he had a biological son. So listen, I don't know, but I guess he took that as some kind of jab to, like, I don't know. I legit don't know. So what happens after that is that one day, or the next day, after we submit the paper, he says, okay, class, we're gonna go out into the hallway to talk about your papers, which I didn't really think too much of, because, I mean, that's not that weird. If you want to have, like, a one-on-one conversation with a student about their paper, I mean, just do it out in the hallway, it's fine. So, the really weird thing is that he said we're gonna do it in pairs, which, okay, fine, I guess, get that done faster, I don't know. But I go out with another student, a girl who was, I guess, kind of a teacher's pet, specifically for him, and he starts laying into me about this paper. Oh my goodness. I really don't know why he went so hard on a paper that, in the grand scheme of things, meant very little. I don't know why he got so mad, but I didn't care about him not liking my paper, because, like I said, I wrote it in one night, and it's like, I don't care, like, okay, it's a bad paper, whatever, I know it's a bad paper. I wrote it in one night. But then he tries to come for me with my story, and I'll never forget what he said. Wow, this is like weighing on me more than it really should have, especially considering it's been literally 6 years since this happened. Oh my god. Whew. Anyways, he says to me, oh, I really helped you out with your little story. I could tell nobody was paying attention to it, which is a lie, because like I just said, people told me that they liked my story. Every so often I would look up from the little printout that I had and see that, you know, everybody's eyes were glued on me, trying to see, you know, oh, what's gonna happen next. It was a very dramatic story that we can't read today, unfortunately, because it's just too long. But, you know, so he tries to go in on me with, like, you know, oh, nobody liked your story, even though that was false, and I knew it was false at the time. And then he told me that I would never be a good writer for some reason. Like, I don't even know why he said that. I guess because he was mad about the paper, but even then, that's like such an overreaction. Like, oh my god, you're an adult, act like one, you know? And he said all of this in front of another student. Like, he basically humiliated me in front of one of my peers, which is just super whack. Yeah, it's just, you know, oh, what can you do, I guess? Gotta listen to teachers, they're the authority, you know. I was pretty upset about all of that. Mostly the fact that he said I wouldn't be a good writer. So that's why I went to school for writing. That's not actually okay. Listen, I'm not gonna say that I'm a spite-fueled person, but a lot of things that I do are kind of sort of out of spite. And me focusing on writing for like a career in my college major, I guess. Even though I didn't finish college with creative writing as a major, I still started out as it. I think me wanting to get better as a writer really came from that event. Because, you know, as you can tell from this Wattpad account from when I was in high school, I really liked writing. Like, I liked it so much that I wanted to do it all the time and, like, let other people read it. Like, I was writing during class, you know? Like, I was shirking my responsibilities to write. And after that, after that happened, I really felt like, you know, I didn't want to write anymore. And that really kind of hurt me. So yeah, it doesn't hurt me anymore because when I went to school for creative writing, right, we had this class called Colloquy. And that's basically, it's basically just like a workshop class. It's a 0 credit class, so it doesn't really have any bearing on your transcript, I guess. But basically every week, it's a once a week class. You go in and you take a piece of writing and you have someone else read it, and then you get feedback on it. And a lot of people really liked the stuff that I wrote in this college level creative writing class. Like, people saw, you know, a potential in me to be a good writer, or at least have good stories, you know. So I guess that's really the proof that I needed to, you know, finally know that that teacher was full of crap. So this really went in a direction, but I just wanted to read some stories, man. I didn't want to get all emotional, you know. I mean, I'm not really emotional, but I guess it's an emotional story. So yeah, I'm just gonna have a sip of my Coca-Cola. And we are gonna resume. So, 1,000-word short stories. Like I said earlier, it's just a collection of a few stories that are 1,000 words long. They're not very long at all. But as you can see, it has 18.1 thousand reads, and I don't know how that happened. Like, they're not good. Like, I just wanna, like, tell you all that these aren't, like, good. Like, okay, there may be some good things in there, but, like, just structure-wise, just, like, structurally, these aren't that good. Again, 15 years old, but, you know, what can you do? So the most popular, I think, story out of this collection is called Psychotic. And I'm not gonna lie, I did kind of snap on it, but there are some things that I guess I do want to change in it. I'm not going to, because, like, what's the point? But, you know, I think I don't like A Night Alone, but we're gonna start with it. So, as you can see, it's, it actually is kind of long. Wow, okay. I said it wasn't that long, but it does feel that long. So, okay. We're just gonna start with A Night Alone, 1.6 thousand reads. Oh my goodness. That's so many. So we'll just start. Okay, and again, like this series, none of the stories are connected. They're just kinda there. It's a writing exercise that I did. And a writing exercise that I recommend if you're trying to, like, better yourself as a writer. It's a pretty good little exercise. So let's start. Alright, A Night Alone. That'll be $11.85, miss, the cashier said. I handed over the money and got my popcorn and slush. My date texted me earlier and told me to meet him here at the cinema. Bro, who calls it a cinema? Nobody calls it a cinema. Why did I write cinema? Movie theater. No one calls it a cinema. Oh my god. Why am I so bougie in this? Anyways. But he was nowhere to be found, and the movie started in 5 minutes. I can't believe my friend set me up with this guy. For one, he was 19, a whole 7 years younger than me. I don't usually date out of my age range, but my scumbag friend said that this guy was a lot more mature than his age showed. His lack of punctuality proved otherwise. Now I'll say this first paragraph kind of slaps. Like, legit, I like it, like, a lot. I really do like this opening. This opening is pretty good. Maybe it could show a little bit more than telling, but it's a good start, you know? I don't know why I'm critiquing my own writing. I'm not gonna go back and change this. Like, it's not gonna happen. So, instead of waiting around and missing out on a good film... Hold on. Oh, I keep forgetting this is cut off a little bit at the top. Instead of waiting around and missing out on a good film, I just texted him to meet me in the room that was showing Nightcrawler. Yes, the Jake Gyllenhaal film, by the way. Very good movie. I recommend it. Once I took my seat at the very back, I got this text. Nightcrawler sounds boring, slanty face. Maybe if he would have been here to make a choice, we could have picked out something less boring. Even though this movie was far from that, which I agree. I mean, I wrote this, duh, of course I know. Anyways, sorry, you weren't here to pick, so I just chose something. I'm sure it's not that bad. Smiley face. Almost immediately I got, whatever, on my way, 15 minutes. 15 minutes? Where does this guy live? The neighboring city? Also, yeah, so, okay, context. Where I live, if you, like, drive 15 minutes somewhere, you, like, go to an entirely different city. But now that I know, like, that I've lived in, like, you know, city metro areas, I know that you can, like, drive for 15 minutes and, like, still be in the same city because traffic, and that's just how metro areas work. So, anyway, it doesn't take that long to get here. Our cinema is in the heart of our small town. Okay, small town. Even if traffic was heavy, which it never is, it would take 5 minutes tops to get here. Lightheartedly, I text, LOL, did you just get up or something? A few ads rolled before I get my reply. Just kinda hungover. Hungover? This guy's hungover at 10 p.m.? That doesn't feel right. Maybe he has some condition where he gets hungover for much longer than normal people? Or maybe, wow. Or maybe he has that condition where his body turns everything into alcohol, so he's perpetually hungover, which is a real thing, by the way, if you were wondering. Probably very rare, but anyways. My friend didn't say he was in college, so wild parties are out of the equation, which, I mean, you don't have to be in college to go to a wild party, but whatever. I gotta stop digressing. Anyways, oh god, what if he's an alcoholic? Please let him not be an alcoholic. Well, there's only one way to be certain. Day drinking, eh? That's not a good thing either, but I guess it's better than all the other possibilities. Actually, not really, they're all bad. Something like that. By the way, I'm on the bus. Ah yes, the bus system meant for the elderly and anyone else incapable of driving. Well, he did say he was hungover, so maybe it's better than driving. The movie starts. The theater isn't crowded, which is pretty good. 15 minutes pass, and no one else has entered the theater. I know 15 was just a rough estimate, but I was hoping my date would be here a little earlier than 15 minutes. Who am I kidding? It'll be another hour before this guy shows up. You know, I never really expected for my first date. Okay. Bad grammar, but whatever. I never really expected my first date to go like this. I remember fantasizing as a 9th grader about all the wonderful dates I would go on once boys started noticing me. Going to a dance, going to a fancy restaurant. I even thought about going to a cinema, but I always figured it would be with the guy. Beggars can't be choosers, I suppose. Boy, this feels like a self-insert. My goodness. For some reason, probably because I wasn't too social, boys didn't really take an interest in me. That's also true in real life. That's the part of the reason, oh god, this is the part of the reason I'm having my very first date at 26. Yeah, this feels like an autobiography, except I'm not 26, and I have been on a date. So, you know, I'm doing better than this lady. The other part, well, who knows, honestly. Suddenly panicked, I glanced at my phone. 45 minutes have passed since the last text. Why isn't he here? Did he get lost? Oh no, did the bus crash? I text, are you lost? My leg shakes, impatiently waiting for another text. I don't want to jump to conclusions, but maybe the bus did crash with him in it. I can see the headline now. First date ruined by fatal bus crash. A personal report. This girl needs to get out of her head. Oh my god. Those personal reports in the paper are always so sad, so mine will fit in just fine. Ah, my phone vibrated. I rushed to see the awaiting text. The bus didn't make it here. Has the movie started? Not only has the movie started, but I'm almost sure the climax is coming. Well, a movie wouldn't climax after only 45 minutes, and I'm pretty sure this movie is 2 hours and some change. He did miss a lot of major plot points, though. I guess we'll have to fill him in. Can you get a friend to take you? Where do you live? Then again, he could have just called one of those private cab companies. There's only about 3 of them, and their hours are about the same, but hey, I guess this first date just isn't going very well. Also, I think this is like pre the propagation of like Uber and Lyft and everything, so like this is your only option, a bus or a private cab company. Thank goodness for Uber, am I right? Not Uber though. They have bad business practices, so I guess thank goodness for Lyft, who I guess they're not that much better, but whatever. Friends are hungover too. I live far away. Far away? Well, that's not very descriptive. That can mean anything from Japan to upstate, which she has a point. Maybe a change of plans is in order. A nice restaurant instead of a movie, maybe? How about I pick you up and go somewhere else? I see what's going on here. He didn't want to go to a movie, but didn't know how to tell me. I know that feeling, not knowing what to say or how to say it. This is so self-insert. Like, I might as well just put my own name in this because, wow. I think I just might stay home tonight. Stay home? Why? What's wrong? This is a little disheartening. Am I really being stood up? My first date, and I get stood up. Hey, it could be worse. I could be gullible enough to go on a date with a jock and have the entire student body ridicule me for something so ridiculous. This does not sound like a 26-year-old woman. Oh my god, this sounds like a 14-year-old wrote it, because a 14-year-old did write it. The 14-year-old was me. Oh my gosh, okay. No, this is way worse. I'm 26 and I couldn't even score a date with a 19-year-old? That's a little sad. Also, that age gap, I mean, it is pretty sus, I'm not gonna lie. God, what's wrong with me? Do I just super repel every male that comes near me? This is like, oh my god, this is like the female version of a nice guy. Like, why did I write this? This is just, oh my god. Anyways. I didn't really want this. I was set up. Sorry. Sorry? You aren't sorry. You're never okay. Miss Grammar, where are you? Miss Punctuation? Not present. You're never sorry. No one's ever sorry for what they do. Oh my god. This takes such a turn at the end. I should have remembered this, but the last line is, I know, I'll make them sorry, which is just, well, so much. Too much. Like, I think what happened in this is that I, like, wrote myself into a corner, kind of, with, like, the text conversation, and I had to, like, end it with some oomph, and the oomph that I went with is just so much, so incredibly much, like, too much. Like, what was I on, age 14? I don't know. Hating men juice, I guess. I really don't know. Oh my goodness. Well, that is A Night Alone, the first story. It's kind of a whole lot, but I think the next one might be better. Okay, we'll go to the next one. Alright, this one's called The Tapes. It has been viewed 854 times. It is, again, 1,000 words. I don't like this one, actually. This one kind of sucks. I'm gonna go to the next one. The next one is like my big break. Hello, your voice is so pretty. First of all, thank you for the super chat. Oh my goodness. Also, thank you for saying my voice is pretty. I agree with that. Gosh, I don't even know if I, like, enabled super chats. Well, obviously I did, because I literally just got one. But, yeah, also, that's very delayed. The alert's delayed, but whatever. Thank you for the super chat. And also thanks for the compliment. I live for them. Okay, so, this one is the one, first of all, I don't even know how, like, a separate part in I don't know, like a bigger story could get more views than the other parts, especially if it's not like The first one, I guess, I don't know, maybe got like shared around a lot by someone. But this particular story inexplicably got like 10,000 views, like out of nowhere. I have no idea. I mean, it's been some years, so I guess it's had some time to like accumulate, views. But this one is popular for like no reason. Well, it's not no reason, but it's a reason. I don't know what the reason is though. But I don't know, man. We'll read it, and maybe you guys can figure out why this story got so popular. So this is psychotic. Also, there's like 6 comments. We'll read some of the comments. His voice had never sounded so cold. What do you mean you don't want to marry me? Well, I gulped. For one, I don't know you. I don't even know your name. Plus, you really creep me out. I looked up to the prosecutor before me. That's when he attacked me. I will say, this opening bangs so hard. Like, oh my goodness. I want to steal this. I have to steal this. This would make such a good short film. Oh my goodness. Like, okay, the plot is like, it needs some work. But nobody steal this, because I legit want to make this. I really like this. This bangs hard. Like, okay, maybe I do know why it got so many views. Maybe it's because it's a bop. I don't know. But, okay. I'm going to stop fangirling over myself and we're going to continue. Okay. It all started 3 months ago, back in October. I was riding the subway when a man sat down next to me. I thought nothing of it until he started talking. I think you're amazing, he half whispered. I just gave him a sidelong glance. Honestly, he continued, you're the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. Sorry for the burp. Okay, I said, thinking that would be the end of it. I'd like to take you out sometime. What's your name? I'm trying to do like a creepy guy voice, but my voice doesn't go that low, so it's not really working. I have a boyfriend, I lied. I wanted nothing to do with this guy. He smelled weird, he looked like he hadn't bathed in a few weeks, and his shirt and pants had stains of various sizes and colors. He almost looked homeless. I bet you're getting tired of him anyways. Why don't you live a little? I rolled my eyes and kept staring straight ahead. My dad told me about these kinds of guys before I moved to the big city. Never engage, keep looking straight forward, don't go in an unlit area at night. Basic stuff. Later that day, there was a knock at the door, and I answered with the customary, "Who is it?" "It's me, the guy from the subway," a voice answered. I silently cursed myself for not just tiptoeing to the peephole and staying silent once I knew who it was. How did he find out where I lived? He couldn't have followed me. He got off the subway 3 stops before I did. He knocked again. "Are you gonna let me in?" I stayed silent. Maybe he'll go away. Though? That's supposed to be thought. Got a crusty typo. Well, he didn't. He stayed there, knocking for about 3 hours until he said, "I'll just come back tomorrow," and left. This happened for a solid 3 weeks. He came every day at about 4 p.m. and stayed until 7 p.m., sometimes until 8. Sometimes he would knock. Most of the time, he'd just stand there, awkwardly holding conversations with himself. I had to run all of my errands early in the day, so I wouldn't have to go out with this creep tailing me. One day, it just stopped. I came home one day and there was a note taped to my door that simply said, "I'll see you on the other side." Ooh, creepy. Naively, I thought that was the end of it. I was so relieved to be left alone for once. Little did I know that was far from the end. I was at work one day. I work as a receptionist at a law firm, and this big, beautiful bouquet of snapdragons arrived. Flowers usually come in for one of the lawyers at the firm, but she usually preferred lilies. I asked the delivery guy who they were for, who they were for, and he said, "Ella Anderson." Me. My heart dropped. I wasn't seeing anyone at the time. "There must be some mistake," I said. The delivery guy just shrugged. I looked at the card that came with the flowers. "From your secret admirer." I really need some creepy music for this, but we're gonna continue. My heart raced. Without a second thought, I threw the flowers in the dumpster in the back of the building. Not only does he know where I live, but he knows where I work. How did he find out? Has he been following me around town? The bigger question was why he was so fixated on me. I'd already shown no interest in him. Can't this guy take a hint? My head was fuzzy for the rest of the day. I didn't see him following me to the subway station. I didn't see him going onto a subway train. I didn't see him... Subway train? I mean, I guess they're trains. I didn't see him around my apartment, or me for that matter, at all. Now, my thoughts were starting to get the best of me. Maybe he hired a private investigator. Maybe he is a private investigator. How much longer until he shows up at the firm, mercilessly asking me to go out over and over again? I didn't know what to do with myself. I had to get away from this stalker. I went one place where this greaseball wouldn't dare go. The courtyard. The courtyard was a hipster haven with all their bookstores and record shops and places that sell hot tea made out of leaves they grew. Alright, this line always cracks me up. I took the most hipstery book I could think of, Fahrenheit 451, and some money for a cup of tea or two and went on my way. I don't know why I think of I don't anymore. But I don't know why I thought of Fahrenheit 451 as like a hipster book, but apparently I did. I legit don't know. Hey, I don't know. I kept my eye open along the way, but I didn't see him at all. I wouldn't be surprised if he noticed where I was going and decided to leave me alone. When I got to the courtyard, I bought a cup of piping hot Earl Grey with a dash of cream and settled myself on a bench and began reading. I'm not surprised people like coming here so much. It's very relaxing. Well, it is if you aren't desperately trying to get away from someone. I was maybe 30 pages in. That 30 pages, I don't know if this girl is a speed reader or what, but that usually takes like a while for me. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a good book, I guess. I haven't read it. I was maybe 30 pages in when I heard it. Ella. Nope, just my imagination. Ella, what are you doing here with all these weirdos? I began to tremble. He followed me here. The one place I thought I would be okay. The most specific niche in the entire city. I mean, not really, but go off, I guess. This place was 20 miles from my house? Bro, that's like in a different city. Like, what? Okay. This place was 20 miles from my house, for God's sake. That's... okay, I can't get over this 20 miles thing. That's, like, super far away. Like, it's not super far, but that's, like, an entire different city. Like, we all know this. Like, 20 miles is pretty far. 20 minutes, on the other hand, is, I guess, kind of different, depending on where you live. But 20 miles, it's concrete. That's a whole different city. Which, okay, I guess it makes sense. She went 20 miles away, right? Then... anyways, we're moving on. That's when he approached me. Ella, I have something to give you. He reached in the pocket of the same greasy pants he wore when we unfortunately met on the subway. It was a little black suede box. I felt as if I were going to die right then and there. Foreshadowing. Not really. People were paying attention to us. Ladies were oohing and awing, and some clutched the hands of their partners. My stalker was proposing to me. Ella Anderson, he said, a terrifying smile plastered on his face. Will you marry me? No, I managed to say. And, Miss Anderson, the prosecutor said, that's when he stabbed you below the ribs? I simply nodded. After a brief pause, the prosecutor said, no further questions, Your Honor. And that's the end. Oh my goodness. Wow. Yeah, okay. Maybe now I see why this got so many reads. 'Cause it's a bop. It's a banger. It's good. And I think all of you know that in your heart of hearts. I know it. So, not to be a little conceited or nothing, but yeah. So here are the comments that we have. Someone said, what? With a capital A, which is funny. So here's the thing that I found really weird about this story in particular, and I guess some of my other ones got this comment as well. But people were commenting, trying to write an essay for, like, their classes on this story, which is so wacky to me because, like, I don't know, like, I got this comment, like, multiple times. Like, the first time it happened, this person says, "Hi, I'm trying to write an essay for my literature class. May I write my essay about your story? And is this your original story? Do you have a full name you can give so that I can give you full credit for your original work, if so?" So, this felt a little sus to me at first, because number one, I guess at this point in time, and I really still now, I didn't want to give out my full name to straight up strangers on the internet. So I replied to it, and I said they could, but I didn't want to give out my full name, which is weird. And this person asked to write a summary of it, and then this person posted twice, probably accidentally, saying, "Hi, I'm trying to write a summary of it for this story for my literature assignment, as this line story really interesting. Can I get you permission to do so?" Which, I mean, grammar, but yeah. I think this comment was just, yeah, that. So yeah, this story banged out of nowhere. Like, how? Why? I don't know. But it did. So, let's see. I think Sisters would be a good one to do. So this is the next one. I think this is the second most popular one, because this one had 1,000. That one had like 800. This one had like, oh, you can't even see it over here. Well, this one has like 2,000. So this is like the second most popular one, and I think this one might be okay too. It's like a little family drama kind of, I guess. I don't know. So yeah, this one's called Sisters, and it's not about James Charles, if you're wondering. When did I post this? This is like pre-James Charles, so it's probably not about him anyways. I don't even know why I said that. Not funny. So, Sisters. There was a lump in my throat as I knocked on my sister's dorm room door. Had to break the news lightly somehow. The door swung open and Ariel's face lit up the doorway. "Hey sis, you're just in time. I brewed some tea." I don't know why I'm like obsessed with tea at this point in my life, but like I was obsessed with tea. Like, I'm not really anymore. I'm more of a coffee person if I'm being like completely honest, but I always write about freaking tea at like age 15. It makes no sense. Anyways, I gulped and forced a smile. That sounds nice. Ariel glanced at the folder in my hand. "Finally starting on that portfolio, huh?" I shook my head. My art class is focused on painting, not drawing, and even so, I don't think the drawing students' work is kept in manila folders. "Actually, that's why I came here," I say, picking my words carefully. Ariel laughed. "What's in the folder? Ooh, is it money?" I shook my head again. "You might want to sit down for this." Ariel sensed my seriousness and took a seat on the futon by the window. I took a deep breath. "You know, I went to donate some..." My nose is getting really stopped up for some reason. I don't know why. This is like really gross. I'm gonna mute myself real quick. Oh. "I just found your videos yesterday. I subbed when you mentioned Dance Gavin Dance." Ooh! Sadly, I'm not wearing my Dance Gavin Dance shirt right now. I'm wearing my Animals as Leader shirt. But I'm glad to have some DGD stands in the audience, just like myself. Anyways, back to the story. Where was I? Where am I? Okay, I took a deep breath. "You know, I went to donate some blood for your upcoming operation yesterday." Ariel nodded. "That makes so little sense. I don't think that's even a thing that's done, but research was not my strong suit as a burgeoning young writer, so we're just gonna leave it there." Alright. Ariel nodded. "Well, it turns out we're not the same blood type." Ariel shrugged. "I worried about that. The only person we can get now is Mom, and I doubt she'll even pick up the phone." Ariel rolled her eyes. "Our parents got divorced when I was 8 and Ariel was 4 because Mom was cheating on Dad. Well, there were other things, but that was the breaking point. She hasn't been in our lives for going on 13 years. "Well," I say, "it's more than that. Our DNA isn't compatible either. It's like we're not related or something." Ariel sat for a moment, puzzled. "Of course it's not compatible. We're different people." "No, it's not that," I sigh. "The doctor says we're not related." Even though she already said that before, but whatever. There it was. The bomb was dropped. It's done. What do you mean? I mean, you're not really my sister. I took a deep breath before continuing. Dr. Hadley didn't say that we weren't sisters, but she said that our DNA was too different to be related, which... We're gonna suspend our disbelief for this story for, like, medical procedures, because it's clear I have no idea what I'm talking about, but whatever. The gears were turning in Ariel's head. When did Mom cheat on Dad? I shrugged. From my understanding, it happened a lot. What was Ariel suggesting? Amy, she began, seemingly uncertain. I think we're half-sisters. No, I breathed, but then it started to make sense. I don't know if Dad was exaggerating anything he said about Mom, but according to him, she slept around a lot when I was a baby and was barely around for any of my milestones in life, and I barely remember her. Okay. I faintly remember Mom being heavily pregnant, and instead of Dad beaming about his new baby, he just kinda drifted off to the side as if he were ashamed or something. Thinking back on this, I used to think that he was just embarrassed about Mom being such a show-off since Dad was the quiet, keeps-to-himself type, but maybe it was because it wasn't actually his. Dad told me, but not Ariel, sometime before I went off to college, that he stuck around for us, but when Mom started bringing business associates home for meetings, unbeknownst to him, that was the final straw. Mom and Dad tried to keep the divorce proceedings civil, but there would be one of those nights where I'd wake up and hear the two of them arguing. What do you think we should do? I asked. We've got to tell Dad. What if he doesn't know? Oh, he knows, I said. I just don't know if your real dad knows, wherever he is. I took a sip of the green tea in my hand, which was now cold. Ariel shook her head. Why did you say not related? We have the same mom. You look like Dad and I look like her. I shrugged. Shock, I guess. More like bad writing. Shading myself here. Ariel looked at her watch. I have class in 10. You want that tea to go? I nodded and Ariel grabbed a coffee tumbler from the cupboard and poured it in the lukewarm tea. When are we going to tell Dad? Maybe today, I said, taking the cup of unsweetened tea. That was an unnecessary detail. Unsweetened, but whatever. We have to do it soon. Your operation is in 2 weeks. I paused for a moment before saying, Are you okay? Yeah. Mom and my real dad were never in my life. Hell, I don't even really know Mom outside of pictures. I'll be fine. I gave Ariel a hug and left. I hope she's right. Giving Ariel the news somehow didn't make me feel any better. Even though she is the product of an extramarital affair and not me, it seems to affect me more. All this time I thought we had a normal, drama-free family once Mom was out of the picture, and this only makes things worse. Now I'm thinking I shouldn't have told Ariel at all. One thing's for sure, there's no going back now. I look at my watch, 12:08. Students from the campus, are filing into nearby bars and restaurants. It's noon. Goodness. I haven't eaten at all today, and I still don't feel like eating. My stomach is turning just thinking about how I would have to break the news to Dad. I'm sure he already knows in some way or another, but this is more than just the fact that Ariel's my half-sister. She still needs the blood. She'd be put on a waiting list a mile long, and the operation would have to be put off for at least another 2 months. Ariel's not incredibly sick, but this operation was suggested by a doctor nearly a year ago, and it still hasn't been done. I fear that if this is put off any longer, it will become something serious. When I reached my dorm room, I didn't want to go in. I knew that if I went in, I would get lost in the millions of awaiting tasks and projects in there. There was also a sock on the door, meaning that I couldn't go in. Okay. I pulled my phone from my pocket and dialed a number. Hey, Dad. ... Wow. That's, not bad, I will say. The whole lack of research, about medical procedures, like, I don't think... Well, okay, you do need to be the same blood type to, like, donate blood. So that part makes sense. But, like, why does the doctor, like, know that their DNA doesn't match? Like, are they... Like, a DNA, like, test is, like, a whole different thing from trying to, like, find out someone's blood type, right? Like, that I am somewhat aware of, I guess. But, and even then, why would the doctor disclose that information to, like, a second party? Like, I feel like that's a HIPAA a HIPAA violation, you know? So, like, that doesn't make sense, but I don't know how to, like, rationalize it at all. Yeah. It's like, you know, these stories, there's, like, something there, but not a whole lot there. So back to the homepage. Gosh, I really love Gone Girl so much. The movie, the actual movie in the book, yes, but also this that I read, that I wrote. It's got, I'm not gonna read it, but it's got like 10 parts, and I formatted the chapters like Game of Thrones, or I guess A Song of Ice and Fire technically, because I was reading that at the moment, and I like the whole like switching of perspectives, and I thought it would be really good to do that with this story, but I never got to finish it. I had all the notes and everything written down on a piece of paper, but I think at some point I like threw them away because I figured, you know, oh, I'm never gonna restart the story, it's gonna be fine. But I do really want to finish it. Like every time I go through it and like read it, because you know I read it sometimes because I still have all the original files. I don't read it on Wattpad, but I read it like you know, on my hard drive. So every time I like look at it and see it there waiting for me to finish it, I'm just like, oh my goodness, this is so sad. Alexa, play Despacito. But yeah, I just wanted to point that out. Profile. So it's been about an hour. I don't want to stop streaming though, but I feel like what else could I read? I mean, these are all of my stories. Let me see here. I'm gonna switch to the main view. Oh boy, that was a fun trip down memory lane though. I really like doing that. Oh my goodness. I know that's really all I had planned for today, and telling that little story that I told. I don't want to stop streaming. It's only like 8:43 too. I don't know. Let's just chat. How's your day been going today? Like, are you having a good day? It's the day after Thanksgiving. It's technically Black Friday, I guess. Nobody I know is doing any in-person Black Friday shopping. I would hope so. That would be kind of whack if anyone did that. I'm not gonna lie. I would kind of hate it if anyone did that, you know? So, I don't know. I'm just checking something real quick. Okay, so far with these settings that I have, like these stream settings, why do I look out of focus? I hate that. With these stream settings, YouTube is saying that the stream health is fine, and Streamlabs OBS is saying that I have dropped frames, but that was like an hour ago. So that was so I guess like at the beginning of the stream, I dropped frames a little bit. I think I might raise my bitrate to like 4,000, and that might help. Even though, you know, for the most part, my internet's still kind of garbage. But I think it might be good enough. I have no idea how it worked with like streaming a game or something, because like I don't know. I mean, listen, I have this brand spanking new computer. I feel like I can handle, you know, processing wise, I can handle like streaming and playing a game at the same time. Like, I know I can do that. I already know I can do that. I just don't know if like my network can handle it. So yeah. Yeah. I don't really know what else to say. I wish I had planned for something else. That would be a whole lot of fun. If I did, but I didn't. Oopsie. This is awkward. No, it's not. Gosh, I love streaming so much. This is so much fun. Like this I'm doing right now, so much fun. If only I could like get it right the first time, it would be like a whole lot more fun. So yeah. I guess to go with the theme of today's stream, if you're wondering, I am still writing, just not fan fictions. Currently I stick mostly to screenplays, because that's been like my my concentration in school, and that's what I'm doing now. My program of choice, because I am cheap, is this program called Writer Solo. It's free. It's offline. It's the offline version of this program called Writer Duet, where you can like collaborate on a script with someone. This is very relaxing. I mean, I don't know how you can be relaxed by those super wacky stories, but hey, if it did something to you, that's fantastic. I'm glad you were relaxed by that. What was I saying? Oh, the program that I currently use is like an offline version of Writer Duet, where you collaborate on scripts. And I think the like most popular like screenwriting software is Celtics, which costs money, and as you may or may not know, I don't like to pay for things, so no thank you. Wait, was it hard to fix up the software? So the thing is, the only questions, or I guess concerns that I had about streaming on YouTube was, number one, I've never streamed on YouTube before, so I didn't really know how it worked. I mean, I have it pretty much figured out now. It's not really that different from Twitch, because I stream on Twitch like a lot more, enough to know kind of what I'm doing there. And the other thing is that now that I'm back home and our internet speeds are garbage, I was just like wondering, like, oh, is the stream even gonna work? Like, okay, so I said I knew what I was doing, but like I have no idea like what bitrate means, I guess. I don't know. Like, I know the lower or the higher it is, like I don't even know. I can't even explain what it means, but what I do know is that raising the bitrate from 2,000 to 3,500 kilobits per second, which I guess that's what it is, not kilobytes, it's gotta be kilobits, I don't know, but raising it definitely helped, because the stream has been like way more stable this time around. So it wasn't that hard. Like, you know, setting up all the scenes and everything wasn't difficult at all. It just took like a little time to get it configured the way I wanted, because with Streamlabs, when you change the streaming service that you use, I guess you just have to start all over with creating your scenes. Like, all the scenes I had for Twitch, I had to remake them for YouTube, so that was kind of inconvenient, but honestly it wasn't even really that hard or difficult to do. Really, it was just messing around with the settings just to make sure like everything was working as intended, you know. So that was really my only, I guess, concern with streaming today. So whenever I stream next, which I don't know when it's gonna be, like maybe, I don't even want to say maybe tomorrow, maybe, what is tomorrow? Tomorrow's Saturday, and the next day is Sunday, because that's how weeks work. But I don't know, maybe soon, because I do really like doing this, and like I said, it is something to keep me occupied. But I also need to make new videos at some point, because, like, you know, I still do plan on, I keep smacking the mic, I'm sorry, Mr. Microphone. But yeah, I still need to make new videos, because I still have like a bunch of them planned. Like, okay, let's go behind the scenes. Oh, I don't have it up. Let's look at my video ideas, because I do have some of them. Oh no, not that. Here we go. Just move this around. I don't even know if this can be seen very well, but we're just doing things. So yeah, that should be easy to see. So these are all of the videos that I have planned. I'm not really gonna try to do all of them. Like, some of these have been on here for like an obscene amount of time. Like making a Sims 4 machinima for new time's sake, that's been on there since my Sims 2 machinima video, and that was, oh my god, when was that? April? March? I really don't know. Very early in the year, several months ago. However, I do still fully plan on doing it, because it's a legit fun video idea. It'll probably just take me like a really long time, like my Sims 2 machinima video took me. However, there should be a lot less hookups there. Hookups? Hiccups, not hookups. God, I can't speak. Listen, I've been talking for an hour straight. I'm like, bleh, you know? This next one is called A Love Letter to Anon. So if you don't know, Anon was this, I don't know how popular it was. It was popular in my heart, but like in actuality, I don't know how popular it was, but it was this series, this long running series. It was a Sims 3 Machinima series. Yeah, I'm kind of a Sims stan if you couldn't tell by now, but it was this long running Sims 3 Machinima series that holds a very special place in my heart. Um, it even got adapted into books. They're self-published Amazon books, but still books. Pretty popular, like Kindle books. I don't think there are any physical copies. I know the author of like the books and like the Machinima series, she had a video on her channel where she was like showing, like holding up a physical copy of a book, and like I really want one. I want a box set of Anon, okay? But so far that hasn't really happened for some reason. I don't know. So I will say, Anon as a series is very Wattpad quality. But listen, at the age that I was, which is like, I don't know, 12 to 14, it was perfect for me. Like, I was the target audience for that. It was great. So, The Sims Medieval, I think I either posted on my Twitter or the community tab about wanting to do a video on that. That one's gonna be a video essay, definitely. It'll also require me, like, playing The Sims Medieval, which I haven't in so long. So long. So that one's gonna be fun whenever I get around to it. The Rise and Fall of Polyvore, if you don't know, Polyvore is like, what do you call it? I don't know. Well, it no longer exists, and that's the sad part, but it was a site where you could make collages of like outfits and stuff, and the Tumblr children loved it. I loved it too, even though I didn't really use it for very long. I still liked it a lot, and I felt very betrayed by the way that it was like taken down. Well, not taken down, but I guess discontinued. So there was that. The Dollyguts / Tirza / Salem Hayes situation from a ... fan. That one's probably also going to be a video essay. And if I do that one, you guys are gonna get to see me draw, because you know this is like art drama, like art YouTube and art Twitter drama, which it's very niche type of drama, but also very serious for some reason, like really intense. So I do still plan on making that, just again whenever I get around to it, and who knows when that will be. There's Sims hot takes. This is kind of a half-baked idea, but I was just gonna make like a list of all my hot takes for the Sims series, and then like say them in a video and like explain them, and yeah. After that is what I learned trying to make my first short film. This is going to be the next video that I make. Like this one, that's the upcoming video. It's coming out. I haven't made it yet. I have the outline for it, but that one's coming soon, hopefully, if I ever get around to it. Honestly, I should just do it tomorrow. Like, I'm not doing anything tomorrow. Like, all my stuff is unpacked. I have space in my room to do things now, so like I should just make it. Like, I don't know what the holdup is. And it's gonna be like a really good video, like very informative for people who want to, I guess, make a short film, especially in these times. The next one after that is my film job so far. Gosh, earlier this year, I like worked for the first time on a film set, and I planned on doing a video for that. And I recorded a video, but it ended up being like an hour of footage, and it was just disjointed and all over the place, so I never ended up making it. I don't know if I still have the footage or what. It's probably on a hard drive somewhere, but I'm probably not going to end up doing that one, or really this video idea at all, like my film job so far. I mean, maybe, I don't know how interesting that would be. The next one after that was Sims 4 Beta Tings. So, this one came up because I was just thinking about, I guess back in, I don't know if it was it had to be 2013, because that's when all the stuff started coming out, because it came out in 2014. So, I was, again, Sims stan. I was very active in the Sims community, and I was on this one forum called, well, it's not just a forum, it's like a whole website, but modthesims.info. That's like it feels, I don't know if this is actually the case, but it feels like it might be the longest running Sims mod site, and they also have like a forum as part of the site, and I was really active in the forum a billion years ago. And of course, you know, after a while, like before The Sims 4 came out, there were like rumors and stuff, like screenshots from early versions of The Sims 4. And apparently, the tea for that is that The Sims 4 was originally supposed to be like an online game, like an online mobile game or like a Facebook game or something. And it looked exactly like that in the beginning. And everybody just tore into it, including me. Everybody absolutely hated the early versions of The Sims 4. And I guess EA listened and turned it into like an actual game. But if you know anything about The Sims 4 and its launch, it was half of a game when it launched. Now it really feels like a fully fleshed out game, and I like really liked it. But when it came out, it was so bad, and I just thought it was really bad, and it was terrible, and I didn't like it. I was Sims 2 ride or die, you know, and I really, I guess, discounted that game until like last year, 2 years ago, when it was free on Origin. So I thought, okay, it's been a while, I'll give The Sims 4 another chance. So I got it on Origin for free, and I started playing, and I thought, wow, this actually feels like a game now. But anyways, that was so far into it. But I just wanted to make a video talking about The Sims 4 beta, because I don't know if anyone really did, you know? Yeah. Then of course there's the Was Film School Worth It type video, which I talked about wanting to do on my community tab, which I still plan on doing at some point. Not after this next video that I'm trying to make, but at some point, you know, maybe when all the dust has settled and my diploma gets mailed to me, then I can make a video on it. I'm burping a lot. So the next one was about unpopular opinions. I guess just unpopular opinions that I have. Which, I mean, even really, I don't know why this is on here. I'm thinking about taking this off the list, but the opinions that I have about things aren't really that unpopular. Like, you know, these are usually all, well, no. The truth tea is that every single unpopular opinion video that people make, the opinions aren't unpopular at all. These are widely held, widely accepted, very popular opinions that people are calling unpopular opinions because they're kind of spicy. Like, you can have an opinion that's kind of spicy, but it can still be widely accepted, you know? Like, I don't know, calling a certain YouTuber overrated. Like, okay, I don't really see that as like a worthwhile unpopular opinion, you know? That's just not that's not the sauce. That is not the sauce. So I don't even know if I want to do an unpopular opinions video. I just feel like it's gonna be boring. So it's probably gonna get taken off the list. This next one is why Amadeus is my favorite movie. Fun fact, Amadeus, 1985 or 4. Oh my goodness, when did it come out? 1980 something. Is, I guess I would say it's my favorite movie. I do like it a lot. And I just thought about doing a little video essay just talking about, you know, why it's my favorite movie. I guess getting into the film review / criticism side of YouTube, since, you know, I guess I've been studying film all this time. I think it's about time that I actually say some things about some films, so, you know, I think that might be a fun movie to make. Definitely fun video to make. Definitely gonna be a video essay, so, you know, scripted with background stuff. In this last one, I had like an idea in the middle of the night, being like, I don't know, I guess I wanted to say why I was in favor of piracy, mostly file sharing, which, yes, those two things are different, but it is also kind of a half-baked idea because, I mean, there's a concept there, but I don't have it like fully fleshed out in my head, and whenever I get around to, I guess, making that video, you guys will see whether or not it's actually like something fully fleshed out. Like, that kind of topic is something that I do want to talk about, but to what extent, you know, like how much do I want to incriminate myself, you know? I mean, I've kind of talked about my opinions on that kind of stuff in the past, especially on my Habbo Hotel video that I made some months ago. did I make that video? Girl, I don't know. But whenever I made that video, I kind of went into the whole topic of why I was in favor of doing those things. So yeah, that's a little VIP look into things. Yeah, goodness, I don't know. I'm really drawing this out. It is 9 o'clock now. Oh my god, okay. This is like past my bedtime. Well, I guess all I can say for that is thank you for joining me today. Thank you for testing things out with me, trying to see if things work. I'm fairly certain I know what to do now for this. If you're just joining now and you missed like the entire stream, I really don't know how this works, because on Twitch it's a toggle, right? You can decide whether or not a video becomes like a VOD, like video on demand. But I think on YouTube it's automatic. But anyways, if you're just joining now and you kind of missed out on things, this video will be archived. I already put a section on the homepage of my channel. It's at the very bottom where this stream will go, and you can watch it. It's not gonna be that long, hour 25. I mean, I've made hour-long videos, but they probably didn't have as much spice as this one did. Actually, I've only made 1 hour-long video, so never mind. Either way, thank you for joining me today. This definitely was a whole lot of fun. Streaming is so much fun. Oh my gosh. But okay, so some more truth tea. I decided to stop streaming. Well, okay, maybe not entirely stop streaming. I don't know. But I decided to come to YouTube instead of Twitch. Because who is calling me? Oh my god. I'm gonna have to call him later. Gosh, the worst time. But I decided to come to YouTube because I already have an audience here. Like, I already have an established audience here on YouTube. And I thought, if I actually want to interact with my audience in like a meaningful way, I would probably have to do it on YouTube, because I think this is pretty well known among people who do this kind of stuff like professionally, but it's pretty hard to get any kind of like crossover audience to like a different platform. So until someone tries to strike my channel and I can not stream here any longer, I think YouTube will be my main place for streaming for now. My main place for streaming for now. So yeah, whatever streams I'll do in the future. Oh, I don't know what kind of streams I'll be doing. Probably just like fun little things like this. I don't know. I always told myself that I would not be gaming on YouTube, but I guess gaming streams, they're a possibility, because I do like playing games on stream. It's very fun, like objectively. But maybe, okay, if I do play games on stream, maybe I would want to prefer ones that like viewers can play as well, just have like more interaction with the audience, and also it's just like so much fun. But things like that instead of like solo games that I normally play. So yeah, that's coming down the pipe at some point. Hopefully I can get my setup going well enough that all of this can go a whole lot smoother than it did today. But hey, today was a trial run. We tried things out. We tried new things, and we found out what worked and we found out what didn't work. So, that's part of learning. I'm a model. What? Okay. It's an interesting comment. I guess that's a compliment. Thank you, Naomi, for saying that I'm a model. I'm model clay, because that's what I'm shaped like. I'm shaped like clay. Okay. Anyways, without drawing this out for longer than it needs to be, gosh, I mean, thank you, Naomi, I guess. I don't know. You're gonna make me blush. Anyways, not to drag this out for longer than it needs to be, so I'll see you guys either in my next video or my next stream that I do. If I do another stream, I'm probably going to schedule them ahead of time. I think that's a good idea for me to do. So if I ever do another stream, you'll see them being scheduled. And hopefully, we can get more people around. This is a good number, but, Hopefully our next stream will be as fun as this one. But for now, it is 9 o'clock. I'm not really that tired, but I do gots to go for now. So